Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Dominguez. I just wanted to share with you all that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to share and express to you guys how important it was for you guys to go out there and get a mammogram done or first perform a self-exam on yourselves. If you guys don't know how to do that, you can always YouTube, Google, find a picture chart online, and don't forget to feel your tatas. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because earlier this year, I did have a little bit of a scare where I did think that I did have something, and thank God, praise the Lord, I don't. But beginning of the year, I had a friend whose mother thought they had something, and I went home that day thinking, wow, when was the last time I performed a self breast exam on myself? So I went in the bathtub and I started feeling around for lumps, did my left breast, there was nothing. When I got to my right one under here, doing the exam, I felt a lump. And at that time I was like, it's probably hormones, it's probably nothing serious. So I kind of disregarded it, didn't think about it twice. Then a couple of weeks passed and I started getting a pain underneath my armpit. So at that time, again, it was getting close for it to be my time and be hormonal again. So I went in the bathtub again that night. I thought about it again and I felt a lump. And this time it was a little bit bigger than the one I had felt previously. So at that time, then I began to say, I wonder if this is something that I've just neglected or if it's something that's just hormonal and maybe gets bigger when my period's coming. I don't know, as women, sometimes we relate everything to hormones or something that's going on. So I kind of not disregarded it, but I kind of put it on the back burner. And at that time is when this whole coronavirus thing blew up. I wasn't sure if I was going to have a job at the time or if I was going to be furloughed. So there was a lot of stuff going on. Everything was shutting down. So I kind of put it on the back burner again. So the next couple of weeks, it's kind of crazy. There was a lot of stuff going on in the world. So I started to get pain in that area. I felt it again and it was like a little bit bigger, harder. So then at that time, I did try to contact a couple of doctors, but because of the coronavirus, no one was open. Everybody was closed. So I ended up making virtual consults. No one was available yet. They didn't have that up and running. And then I was like, what am I making a virtual consult for? A doctor physically has to touch my boob. So I finally made appointments to gynecologists, medical doctors, everybody was only doing virtual. Till finally I found one doctor that the front desk girl explained to her that I needed to be seen, that I found a lump, and the doctor agreed to see me. So I was working that day, I'll never forget. I ran out of work because I was the only person the doctor had seen in months. When I went in to see the doctor, she asked if I wanted to do my blood work at that time. I said, yeah, whatever we have to do. So she first felt my left breast, and then she felt my right one. And when she felt my right breast, she made this look and took off her gloves and then just started talking to me about cancer and oncology, gave me a number to an oncologist. So right then I was like, holy shit, I must have cancer. I couldn't believe it. Like the way she was talking to me, she made me seem like I was gonna die. So at that time, I'm like in shock. I didn't really know what to think. And she gave me a number to an oncologist. She said, here, take a picture of this screenshot it. I'm gonna pull it up on my computer. And this is the doctor you need to see. She's the best doctor in the area. And she can recommend what to do next. And you're gonna need a mammogram. So this is where you need to go. So I kind of left there in shock. I went back to work. At that time, I only had one coworker besides myself working in the office. She and I kind of prayed and I said, I'm going to be fine. So I made 2 or 3 phone calls. I didn't want to tell my parents because at the time my parents were worried about the virus and they are in that age group that they could be affected by, and I didn't want to worry them. At the time, I also had a relative that was not feeling well and had to go to the hospital. And then someone that I also knew was diagnosed with the virus as well. And so there was just a lot of stuff going on. So I finally got in to see a radiologist a week later because every radiology place, again, either was not open or they wouldn't do a sonogram the same day. And I wanted to go to a place that would do both the same day. So I finally got in a week later to do both. the mammogram lady didn't make a face, didn't do anything. She just took extra of the area where it was because she knew they would need it. And then when I went to do the sonogram, the lady made a face again, that face of horror, like, oh my God, you have something. And she asked me, does it hurt? Have you felt it? How long has it been there? So I kind of just answered her, and, kind of people look at you kind of weird, or when you tell them like you just noticed it. So they kind of look at you crazy, to be honest with you. So then she's going on this side, and again, there's something there. And she says to me, oh, do you have pain up here? And I go, no. So then at that time, it's when I found out not only do I have one mass, I have two, even though she can't tell me, but just by her face expression, they definitely don't have a poker face. So then I'm like, great, I probably have something in my right breast, now on the bottom and the top of my breast. So it must be more serious than I think. So at that time, I can't make another appointment to see this oncologist until I get the results. So I go, I pray, and I'm like, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be nothing. I get a call. They're like, guess what? There's something on your mammogram, and the sonogram shows something. You're going to have to go see this oncologist. So I made an appointment to go see the oncologist, who the hospital closest to me was closed at the time. So I then had to go to the cancer center. Walking into the cancer center, I literally was scared shitless. At the time, I think I only broke down the first day when I left the doctor's office. That 48 hours, I think, was the worst time for me. I cried. I just was in shock. And, I guess it was a really rough week for me. So I guess I couldn't comprehend everything that was going on. But then after that, I snapped out of it. And then the thing that bothered me the most is that my parents were worried. And I didn't really want to tell either one of them, but my mom and I are synced. So anytime anything's wrong with me, even though I brushed it off and lied to her, she knew that something was wrong with me. So, and she had been telling me to go get a mammogram for a while. So I did have to tell my parents. And that's the only thing that really bothered me because I didn't want them to worry. So anyway, fast forward back to going to the oncology center. When I went to the oncology center, the doctor was phenomenal. This doctor's bedside manner was amazing. She really made me feel comforted. She answered every question I had. I wasn't one of those people that Googled everything before I went. Normally I Google everything. I go on WebMD, I play doctor and try to figure out what it was. I felt very calm, and I just kept telling myself, I'm going to be okay, and just remain positive. You're going to be fine. And if it does turn out to be something, then there's a reason, and you will get over it. And it'll make you stronger in the end. And there's a reason, if this happens to you, that you're going through this. So I kind of just maintained that. And when I spoke to the doctor, she said I had an amazing attitude, and she showed me the mass, and the one I had on the top of my breast, she said was nothing to be alarmed of. It was very small, and she didn't see me, anything being serious. She did say that what I currently had, possibly I should think about cutting it just in the future, but it would leave a scar and it would have some pain involved. And so I just left that day, just kind of thinking okay, now I have to have a biopsy, I have to have another mammogram, and I have to have another sonogram. So I scheduled that on long weekend of Memorial Weekend so I could have time off. So I scheduled my biopsy, and, I went by myself because you can't go to the hospital with anyone. And it was cute. My dad wanted to drive me, but I wouldn't let him. No, I do everything myself. I'll be fine. So I ended up just going to the hospital, spending my whole day there on Friday, a Memorial Weekend. I took the day off work. And I remember thinking and praying while I was there that everything's going to be fine. It's going to come back, that I have, don't have cancer. And thank God, I did get the results, and it was benign. They did recommend that I keep checking up on it, and that I do cut it out. I said off, cut it out. And right now I just decided to watch it because it's not something that I want to go through right now. It can be painful, and the scar, and right now it's nothing that's serious. So I am going to stay with my little mass for the moment. and just watch it for the next couple of months and see what happens and go from there. So I just thought it was important to share this with you guys because from one day to the next, you can find something, and it's from you not being in tune with your body. And I think I'm very in tune with my body, but I think that a lot of times life goes so fast and so many things happen that sometimes we forget about ourselves and to take better care of ourselves. So if one of you or 5 or 10 women go out and get a mammogram because you saw this today, then my job is done. And as I always say to you all, remain positive, happy and healthy. And that is the most important thing through anything that you're going through. Your attitude is so important through anything. And I think it's important too that you find someone when they're treating you that has the same attitude, because you can see the difference from one person to the next person that I was treated by. The first person honestly made me feel like I was gonna die. And then the second person totally changed that mindset. Thank God that I'm a strong-willed person, because had it come to probably another person, they might have felt, depressed or gone with what the other doctor had told them. And I know that a lot of times they give you the worst possible circumstance, which the first doctor did say that. But I mean, a lot of times some people aren't as strong as I am to handle that. And, someone could take that the wrong way. And I'm just happy with my outcome. And I think that when something like this happens, it's very important that you're treated by the right person. So again, I just wanted to share my story with you guys. And again, it's Feel Your Tatas month. So make sure that you do at least a self-exam at home, in the shower, when you're laying in bed. Try to do it once a month. Get to know your body, get to know your breasts. Breast cancer does kill so many women every year, and we are all affected by different kinds of cancer with friends and family. And it does kill a lot of people we love and care about. So get to know your body, not just for your breasts, but if anything is bothering you, don't forget to take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. And that's about it. That's my message to you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Many blessings to all of you. Bendiciones, te quiero mucho. Mwah.